I read an article last year, in the summer of last year, that said it gave ways for employers to keep their employees more connected since we're all working remote. I wanted to use some of the things from this article as ways to maintain my relationships with my friends. And one of the things that they suggested was making content like by employees for employees. Basically content that your office could all share, but from somebody that you knew. I really liked that idea, and so I decided to make a small podcast that I would send to people that I knew. The topics were varied, very personal, and not a whole lot of structure to the episodes. My goal was to have a thought, spit it out, and send it to people, and then have a conversation based on those episodes. And since August, I've been able to do that. I've remained consistent, and so now I think it's time for a change. A change of audience, a change of format, and I want to invite you in. So come with me, if you would, please. I am scared to put this podcast out there. I'm scared to bring more people, more attention to these podcast episodes, because I have the tendency to quit before I really get started. I get bored, or maybe when things don't turn out exactly the way that I wanted, instead of finishing it and just putting it out there, I'll quit and say, you know what, I'm over this. And I want to change that. I want this to be different. I am nervous that I'm going to get judged before it gets to be the thing that it actually can be, and I am okay with that. I have spent enough time doing this that I think I'm comfortable with what it takes to make this show. I'm comfortable with other people listening to it not being perfect, and just putting it out there. It's taken a long time, but I feel like I'm ready to open up what this show can be. So I want to take this show from my thoughts and engage people in discussions in the actual episode. I want to pose a topic and then engage people in that topic. Again, I'm nervous because I think a lot of people are doing this, and it's going to be very easy to judge what it is that I'm making. I know I'm going to be hypercritical of it because I'm just a hypercritical person, and I'm still going to put it out there. I'm challenging myself to stick with it, knowing that I don't have the best track record for that. I'm challenging myself to take the criticism when it comes, be open with it. And I also, like I said, want this to be a conversation starter. I want to have audience participation. And I think for me, it's easy for me to get discouraged when I don't have the participation that I think, it takes a lot of time to make this stuff. And when you don't get the participation that seems equal to the amount of time that you're spending on things, it's hard to get enthused to continue to make things. And it's been a road for me to admit that and say, okay, I understand that I might not be happy that not as many people are watching this, or they're not commenting, or they're not engaging with it the way that I want them to. But I am going to be okay with that. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna have small, manageable goals and let this thing do what it does. I want it to be entertaining, and I'm going to end the video there. So